Good morning. November 11th, and it is rainy, windy. Not that cold, but it's chilly because I'm wet, so. I am into yet another new spot. By new, I mean I haven't hunted it this year. This spot was super hot last year. We had a ton of luck over here. There was hot does running around all over the place, so. That was actually, I think it was the 12th last year. So, I mean, it's literally this time of year last year up here. So, I think it's a big doe bedding area over here to my left. And I think them bucks just kind of push them does in and out of there, and they cross right here. In this general vicinity, we haven't really dialed this spot in yet, but I think I'm pretty close right now, where I need to be. So, gonna stick it out this morning. Sit until at least 10:30. Maybe later if I'm in some action. So. Gotta make it happen here in the next 2 days. I'll be picking up the gun and doing it the easy way after that, so I'd rather get one done before that with the bow. So let's see what we get this morning. Oh, nothing here in the first hour. I think it's about time to make some noise. It's about a little earlier than I usually do it, but I think the next time the wind dies down, I think I'm gonna hit it. Man, I'm cold. It's like 50s. It's like in the 50s, and I'm cold. Got rained on for first hour on my way in here. I'm a little bit tired too. Hasn't worked yet this year that I'm aware of. It's worked pretty good the past couple years, but I just need to work one time. That's all I need. he got in here quick. Like 2 minutes after I got done rattling, he stopped over there like 30 yards and then turned and came right under me, 15 yards. Not even 15, probably like 10. Now, if we can just get his granddad to do that. Didn't get a whole lot of that, but I stood up and was messing with my Onyx, seeing exactly which direction I was sitting last year, and I looked back there about, I don't know, 60 yards or so probably, and I seen a deer standing there. It turned its head and I could tell it was a shooter. I didn't know, still don't know exactly how big. I'll probably be able to see on my phone when I put the card in my phone. But what I didn't see was the doe that was in between me and him. And I think she saw me move. She didn't spook, but she did just hop off. But I mean, I was moving before that. She could have seen me long before that. He looked nervous when I first saw him, so I bet you I got caught before any of that even happened. But sucks that they come directly behind me, and it's so windy you can't hear anything. I think they were coming up here. That's what sucks. I'm pretty sure they were coming this way. She was in between me and him. So, just common sense would tell you she was probably headed up and he was right behind her. I have a bunch of cover back there. They probably wouldn't have seen me if I wouldn't have been standing up and messing around. What it is. I don't think I've stood up all morning. I stand up one time. Well, I guess I've stood up to rattle, but alright. So I didn't close out my morning hunt for some reason. I don't know why, but after that nice buck around 10:20, 10:30, what I ended up doing was climbing down and moving my stand, because that buck was in the same spot as the first buck and doe came through it. So I moved my stand about, 40 yards, and got it set up because I'm gonna go back in there tomorrow morning. So this evening I'm in a spot I've not sat back here before, I've set in this area before, but I've never went this far back. And this is actually not too far, a couple, 150, 200 yards from where Joe shot his first deer. And I guess would be the last video, so, or a couple videos ago. But anyway, this spot, I'm down here in the bottom this evening, and it is thick. I mean, thick. If I don't see a deer, it will be insane. It's just too perfect. Now, as far as shooting a deer, not as ideal. It'll have to be right here in my lap, but I've got a couple spots, 30 yards or so, but most of my shots are gonna be right here within 15, 20 yards, which is fine. I kind of expect them to either, so I'm not too far from the private. Actually, the fence runs right up here 35 yards or so. I'm expecting them to jump this fence and either head up this point to my right, which that's where I've got like a 30-yard shot, maybe even a 40 in a couple spots, but not very many. It'll have to be perfect. Or they can come up, and there's a pond up here, probably 500 yards. They could jump the fence down here and come up, walk up the fence line here on this side. I don't know. I haven't sat here. I don't know exactly what they do. I just wanted to kind of try something new this evening. It will, if I kill one back here, it will be a rodeo getting it out of here. But if I shoot it, it should be worth it. So we'll see. I think I'm going to rattle here pretty soon, because I know there's some deer bedded within 100 yards of me right now. There's got to be. had him inside 20 for 10 minutes. He's still over there about 35 yards. Not even that far, actually. It's an awesome start, but man, that's tough. Last day. It's really early still. A couple years ago, I probably shoot that deer on the last day here. But I just have a feeling today. I don't know why. Might be wrong, but I just need one a little bit bigger than that to come do the same thing. Didn't get much of that. I didn't get anything at the big buck. He went through that thick stuff right in front of me. He's probably 70, 80 yards. Not real interested in any calls. And then up to my right, after he kind of disappeared, I don't really know exactly where he went, but up to my right, kind of behind me to my right, I heard some grunting, and it almost sounded like a doe. Doe grunt, kind of what it sounded like too. It might have been a young buck, but. And then I saw a deer heading up the hill. So, kind of trotting up the hill like it was chasing something. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. I haven't seen anything since 7:30. Really trying to figure out in my head what I need to do. I don't have an evening spot that I'm extremely confident in. I do think this is a good cruising spot. This makes me want to stick it out a little bit longer, but it's one of the midday cruisers, but my wind in here is just so crazy. I mean, 1 minute it's blowing 20 miles an hour that way, next minute it's 20 miles an hour in the opposite direction. I think the odds are I'm going to get, or I have been, or I will get winded before they make it to me. But it was blowing like that this morning, and that little buck come right to me, so I don't know. Alright, November 12th. Evening of November 12th, and me and Forrest went for a little adventure. We walked 1.76 miles, and we finally bumped a deer. We didn't want to bump the deer, but we literally were 10 steps from where we were going to stop. And I looked up and saw a deer trotting off, so we've only got about an hour left of daylight. Probably the next calm section of wind we have, where it's a little bit lighter. We're going to do a real loud rattling sequence, because we're in a bottom here. Real big bottom. Bunch of points coming together down here. We figured with these high winds, maybe some deer would be trying to funnel through these bottoms just to get out of the wind. We've had 30 mile an hour gusts all day, so anyway, I'm gonna get loud here in a few minutes and see what happens. No way. You got him. Watch. No, yeah, you did. You definitely hit him. Where's he at? Look at his tail flickering. He's about to die.
Don't get me excited.
You hit him, didn't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's him right there. He's hurt. Stuck in the ear still. I cannot believe that just happened.
Damn.
Like to a T, dude. He saw you, didn't he? Right before you shot him?
Yeah.
He's up there.
That's why I went ahead. I see it. Do you see it too? I see it.
Yeah, I seen him walk off.
His tail just... He stands.
Is it flickering?
Yeah.
Okay, he's hurt.
Okay.
Alright, so we're freaking out a little bit, alright? Because we don't know how that just worked. The shot was quartering to, which is, you know, less than ideal. 25-yard shot. I thought he was a little closer than that, but he's 25 yards. And 95% sure it's a lethal hit, just by the way he was acting. When he run off, he never looked back, looking, you know, see what happened. His tail was going nuts, flickering everywhere. I'm thinking maybe it was back. We're talking guts, maybe liver, hopefully. We're gonna look for blood once it gets dark. And depending on what the blood looks like, we'll either follow it or we'll slip out of here. We know where we last saw him, so worst case scenario, we can go there and check there if we don't find anything. But pretty optimistic right now. It's just a matter of what kind of hit it was. My camera was focused on these freaking little branches right here. I usually have my remote and I didn't bring it. Otherwise I could have manual focused it on the deer, but too late for that now. So anyway, we're gonna wait until it's dark before we go look for blood. That way, if he is over there dying, maybe he'll die before we get to it. So fingers crossed. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
That's in that direction, ain't it? Went ahead and walked over here to first impact. And heck, it's probably what, his second step?
Yeah.
This has got to be his second step. We've got pretty good blood in it. It's splattered good, man. I mean, that's see, it's way over here.
Yeah.
It's right over here. I mean, that tells me you hit some good stuff. Wait another 30 minutes and before we go too much further. So I think we're gonna have good blood, so we'll give him a little bit longer and then we'll head over there.
There's some
Right here. You got some right there?
No.
Right here. So he could have jumped this, he could have went around it. There's your arrow. Grab your arrow up there in front of you. Let's look at it. Right there in front of you.
Okay.
Up. 60.
Okay.
Go ahead and grab it. We need to look at it. Oh, let me video this. Let's see what we got here. So it's not a pass.
You got blood all the way through.
Hold that end, the bloody end. Okay, it looks like I would say your penetration was only to probably about a foot, which is plenty. Let's see, the blood looks good. Blood looks real. That's why he opened up, because that arrow popped out.
Yeah.
A lot of hair though, that worries me.
Why's that?
Does it stink at all?
No.
No, that's good. Alright, put it in quiver. That's the eyes, dude. He definitely laid. He definitely laid down right here. I mean, he's dead.
He stopped once.
Look at how much blood there is, dude.
He stopped halfway between where we last saw him. Remember, he was sitting there shaking his tail in the video.
Yeah, so he's either laying right here and we're about to step on him, or we bumped him. Didn't want to jump this log, did he? Oh, there he did. But up here too. What?
There he is.
Look at that, dude. Look at that, dude. Dude. Hey. What's up, dude? He's dead. Right here, bro.
Hell yeah. Look at this.
Dude.
Hell yeah.
No, you gotta hit me. You gotta dap me up, dude. You gotta dap me up with that. Hell yeah. That's what's up, dude. Been blind.
Where is that? Oh, yeah. How did that happen? This isn't my deer. There's another one somewhere.
No, this is him.
What?
In the net.
How did that? Dude, I was aiming. I don't even know how that happened. I was aiming right here. And how did he go so far?
I told you he was acting hurt.
God. What?
How did that not go through?
Wait. Another.
No.
Yes. Wait.
Might be from him laying in it.
Dang.
Hey,
That is so
we'll
awesome.
take it. A little luck helps sometimes, don't it?
That's crazy. If anybody asks, I did that on purpose.
A little luck goes a long way, dude.
Heck yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that was awesome.
Dude. Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, I appreciate it. I couldn't have done that shit without you.
No problem, dude.
Oh,
He's a good sized spike, body wise.
He
And
is.
he ain't no little baby spike. He's got a body on him.
man, that was so much fun.
That's what it's all about.
God.
And dude, and he went to the road.
Do what?
He went towards the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The road's just right up here. It can't be 100 more yards.
Awesome.
We're gonna drag him up to the road, and then we get to drive right to him. Don't get much better than that.
Heck yeah.
pumped.
Man, that's awesome. I can't believe I hit him in the neck. That was wild.
I knew it hit him. It just didn't sound like a really, like a lung hit.
Dude, I don't know how did I hit him in the neck? I was aiming
It's
right
called
here.
buck fever, bud.
Gosh.
That's crazy. He died quick. Anyway, we get set up. I was like, if the wind dies down, I'm gonna rattle. You know, I think we can pull. So we only had an hour. We've been walking for an hour and 48 minutes. I walk. I said, we got an hour. You know, it's prime time. I might as well rattle when the wind dies down. Well, I'm getting ready to rattle, and I look out in front of me. I hear, and I look up, and he's trotting down the hill right at us.
Yeah.
I was like, when he gets behind that tree, draw. Because there's only one tree left, and then he's gonna see us.
Game time.
Yep. I said, he gets behind that tree, draw. Well, of course he stops right before that tree, but he'd already drawn. I didn't know he was drawn. And the
Impatient,
deer,
huh?
and the deer looks right at us, and I was like, I didn't know he was drawn, so I was like, it's over. You know, I was gonna tell him to draw, go ahead and draw and shoot. All of a sudden, boom! He shoots, pops it. So I wanted to give a little insight into the next couple sections of this video. After taking Forrest deer back to camp, I got a little excited on the four-wheeler and ended up turning it on the side and hurting my shoulder. So essentially what that ended up doing was kind of throwing my opening morning rifle season for a loop, or my whole rifle season really. But ended up actually separating my AC joint and tearing my labrum. So anyway, kind of threw me for a loop. That morning I went out, didn't take the camera, saw a few deer, had a spike at like 10 yards on the ground because I couldn't really climb my sticks. But anyway, that evening I went back into an area, sent Forrest back to a stand, a double set that we'd had a lot of success at, and I went to an area close to him, about 200 yards from him, and I heard him shoot a couple times. So I then went over to see what was going on, so we didn't have service, so we couldn't text each other. Checked it out. He ended up shooting one, so instead of just ending the hunt there, it was early, it was like 3 something. We hopped up in those double sets. I was able to get up in there. He helped me get the gun up and all that. But anyways, I still didn't have the camera set up. I did take it because I planned on setting it up on the tripod on the ground. But I did take it. Didn't have it set up. Well, wouldn't you know it, about an hour later, had a nice buck come in and on Forrest's side of the tree. And it was a struggle for me to get my gun to that side of the tree because I couldn't really use my right arm. It was still super weak and painful to use at the time. But anyway, we've watched this deer for a couple minutes. The deer was actually extremely cautious and intelligent. He actually walked up into a deadfall. You'll see him here in the video here in a second. Walk out of it, but he stood in that deadfall for several minutes and just staring our direction. And one thing I didn't really think about at the time, I should have mentioned, if I'd have thought about it, I would have mentioned it in the video, but Forrest had just coughed before that. I remember that now, me thinking about it, like, oh, you know, it is what it is, you know, it happens. But it's just something that I remember noticing. Well, that deer showed up right after that cough, and I think he walked up into that tree and was being extremely cautious because he heard something, but he wasn't sure what it was. So anyway, get on this deer with my rifle, with my 243. Ended up making a good shot on him. But I didn't know at the time, but Forrest had pulled his phone out and was recording the last 30 seconds of the encounter.
But unfortunately, his phone doesn't have audio. It didn't. The speaker, I guess, was broke on it. But anyway, so we're lucky enough to have some cell phone footage, which isn't great, but of the shot, and then we have our reaction after that.
Alright, had a pretty eventful evening here. So, me and Forrest went back to this spot. He come down to this stand, and I peeled off a couple 200 yards the other side of the ridge over there. Well, I heard him shoot a couple times. He's got a buck down here. This was like at 3:20, 3:15.
Yeah, it was early.
It was early. So I come down here and sit with him until dark. And I just knocked the buck down too, so we're gonna go take a look.
In case anybody's wondering, I'm impatient.
Yeah, Forrest's a little upset that he shot the smaller one, but hey, we'll take it. Me and him have a little bit of luck together, it would seem. Let's go see where he's at. He rolled up under that log, I think.
He probably wedged himself under there too. Yeah, we got some meat back.
We got plenty of meat.
Bunch of meat.
Still area. Oh yeah, he's a good deer. I knew he was pretty solid. I wasn't sure how big. Look at it. Oh, dude. What? That's cool. I didn't even notice that. Look at that blade coming out of his face. What in the world? Dude. That's a big mature deer.
Hey, yes.
Holy cow. Blade. I didn't even notice that, did you?
No.
Hold him up a little bit.
This one might be the one. Might be the one I saw the other day.
Look at that coming out of his face.
What in the world?
Big body on him. Kind of, his body makes him look smaller.
Jeez. Gosh.
Wow. That was an awesome hunt.
That was. There it is.
What a cool deer.
I don't know if that was the exit or the other shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, wait.
I don't know.
Gosh, that is a cool deer. Man.
Yeah, this deer. Forrest gotta go check out his big one. Right here. Look how far apart they are. Hold on, check this out. Forrest is gonna go stand by his deer. This one just died right here. We drug him out to right here. There's Forrest. Right there. Dude. What a hunt. I'm pretty happy. Cool looking deer. Pretty mature deer. I mean, he's big and his neck's huge. And he's swollen.
That's a big deer.
I've been seeing a lot bigger, but
Look at that.
I'm pretty happy with him.
Hey, gummit.
We called it too.
Feel right now.
Forrest shot that deer, and we called it. Forrest's like, man, I'm gonna be so pissed if a big one comes out and you shoot it. I said, dude, I was just thinking the same thing. I said, if I know that, I said, we're jinxing it right now. Sure enough, here he is, right there.
Daggone Missouri rules.
Dude, Missouri. Hey, we have a good time. All right, we're gonna get them up to the top here, and then we got a lot of work to do. We had an amazing season as a group, and rifle season was no exception. I mean, it was awesome. Forrest being able to make it up there with us, and having several successful hunts, and then us being able to experience a couple kills together was pretty cool. This is his first year really hunting hard, and it couldn't have been, I don't think it could have been any better. Obviously had a couple mishaps and made a few mistakes along the way, but that's going to happen every season, so couldn't be any happier. It's the first season without Grandpa,
camp, and it was one for the record books. I mean, everybody in our camp shot a nice deer. I mean, everybody in our camp saw multiple nice deer, had opportunities at nice deer, or killed deer, just deer in general. So it was an amazing year, and honestly, I can't wait for next year.